Hello beautiful people and welcome back to my channel. So this look today is going to be raw, just in your face. I took off my softbox, which I feel like sometimes my softbox gives me more of like flattering features. My ex was like, just go for it, just do it. So I took it off and now we have harsh light on my face and we're going to see how this actually works, if I like this one better than I like my other one. I also got a brand new microphone. Hopefully you guys can hear me and it sounds good. So yeah, let's go. Okay, I don't know what type of look we're gonna do today, but we're just gonna figure it out. I'm gonna be using the same pencil that I had in my last video. It's from the beauty supply store. I want to say that it's in the shade, I mean it's not in the shade, but it's from a company called NK, which I think they are super popular in the beauty supply store. So it's super cheap. I think it might have been like 99 cents, probably, if that. If not, I think maybe like $2 at the most. It's not expensive, but you know, your girl is going through life and I haven't had time to clean up my makeup station, so we're doing the best that we can with the items that we have. Then, like I told you guys, I have been using my NYX pencil, NYX Espresso. Girl, I don't know. I've been using this pencil to just kind of create like hair-like strokes in my brows, simply because, again, I can't find shit, and I mean, this just kind of, it works for right now, so we're just gonna make it do what it do, okay? Okay, I'm using my Born This Way concealer to now go in and clean up under my eyebrows, and then also just kind of create like a little bit of a highlight, because when you use a color that's lighter than you, it creates kind of like that eyebrow highlight. Look at me trying to explain stuff a little bit better to you guys. I'm working on myself, okay? Anyway, my ex kind of called me today, and I guess he kind of encouraged me a little bit, you know, to kind of just get back into this, because lately I have really been struggling with creating content. Either I feel like, I don't know, and I was telling him that I don't know, because he's like, what's been going on? Like, I remember when we first started talking, which was like 3 years ago, you uploaded, you know, constantly. You had different looks. You were so creative, da 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 da. And I just feel like, well, number one, I feel like the industry has changed. The things that people like has also changed. You know, back when I was doing it 2, 3 years ago, I think it was definitely in for you to have all these crazy, wild makeup looks, and you know, you had the colorful eyeshadows, and that's what people were into. And now everybody is into this soft girl era or this clean girl makeup, and so it makes it a little bit difficult to continue to be creative, because it's only a certain amount of times that you can kind of switch up a shimmer or a matte look. Like, you're not really using any color. Was also telling him that I think like a huge part of that, also like my creativity kind of dwindled as well, because I started working like a better job and just, you know, not really, I guess, having a hobby. Like, I was so fascinated with just kind of relaxing a little bit more. And then I think, and I always say that, like, if you go back to like some of my older videos, I have always said that once this became a job, I probably was going to fall out of love with it. And I think that's kind of what happened, because now this is a job, because I make money off of this, as well as like the hair tutorials and stuff like that. I get paid to do those things. So it's no longer like I'm doing it because of a hobby. I'm thankful that I get paid to do those things, but it does take away from like the happiness of it. Hopefully that makes sense. I don't know how to explain it. All right, so now I'm going to use my my Jacklyn palette. Lord, I almost said Jackie. Anyway, my Jaclyn Hill palette from Morphe. I told you guys in the last video, you definitely need to get you guys just some neutrals. Any palette will work. If you guys also know, there is a Juvia's Place palette. Can't remember the name of it, but I used up like all the browns in there. This palette actually has more shades. The Juvia's Place palette has, I think, maybe 6 colors in there. I think it's called the Warrior palette, but it has like 6 colors in there, and they're neutral. I absolutely love that palette, like when I first started, so definitely a good palette to start with, but it doesn't have as many colors. I want to say 3, 6, maybe 9 colors total. 6 to 9 colors, something like that. I think another issue that came into play is the longer that I was in, I guess you could say, this industry, because I'm not, baby, I went out with somebody who is like not like a huge influencer, but she has more influence than I do, right? And this was like kind of like her whole entire world. She's like a full-time creator, and I'm like, girl, that just could never be me. I don't like all that, especially when you get into like the politics of it, when I seen how these brands would try to have me create content that takes me anywhere from 2 to 3 hours to create, and that doesn't even include editing time or anything like that, plus you know, just thinking of ideas for them to create the look and stuff like that. When I seen how they wanted me to do that in exchange for free product, it stopped being exciting for me. In the beginning, hell yeah, especially when you're not getting makeup products or anything like that. Getting makeup in the beginning for free is like, oh my gosh, yes, I do not have to, you know, pay my money to do anything. But then after a while, it gets very, very old, and it gets old real quick. Okay, now I'm using the Juvia's Place, the Rebel Honey palette. I'm going to go in with, I think, like these two colors right here, just to kind of give me a little bit of a pop. But yeah, it gets old like super quick, y'all, especially when they have nothing to offer you outside of a repost on their page. Especially like when I started to, I'm trying not to discourage you guys because I don't want to discourage anybody. All I'm saying is just get your damn money. So especially when I got to a place where I was buying equipment and buying these expensive ass lights and stuff like that, expensive ass cameras and, you know, laptops and stuff like that. When I got to that place, I'm sorry, but look, that's not going to put the money back into my pocket. You giving me a repost. Yes, it's going to give me more of a following, but unfortunately, I do not sell any products that I could recoup that money back on. So it would be different if I had like my own beauty brand, or if I sold lashes. Then you repost me, then that would give me more exposure. People will come, you know, if they like me, then they would, you know, buy the product. But, and I think that's a lot of people, they need to understand that too. If you are in this industry, not so much as a creator, but the person who wants to pay the creators, be very careful with that, because just because you pay a creator does not mean that that's going to guarantee funds for you, especially small businesses. That does not always equate funds. Me creating a video for you is not always going to create revenue, just so you guys are aware of that. All right, I'm going to go back into the Jacklyn Hill palette. I'm going to use the color Cinnamon Roll now, just to kind of deepen up my edge. I love a good deep edge. If you don't like it, you don't like it. But yeah, you start to see your counterparts, like people of different races and shit, starting to be able to purchase houses and condos and shit like that, and they being posted on the same page you're being posted on. After a while, you like, nah, bitch, it ain't no damn way to charge us all trust fund kids. Y'all getting paid to make this content, and I'm just sitting over here and I'm not getting paid anything. Once that starts to happen, once that shift starts to happen, you start to realize it's starting to tighten up and be like, no, either you're going to pay me to create the content that you're going to use to promote your products and your brand and shit like that, or we're not going to be able to work together. I got to go in with a little bit of black. I just have to. But yeah, you start to notice that these fucking creators are being flown out, you know what I'm saying, to shoot beauty campaigns, all while you're trying to buy equipment in order to make sure that your videos are good enough to be reposted. It stopped making sense to me. Like, why am I fighting to be a part of brands that don't even, you know, want to pay me my worth? Now, there are some brands that will pay you, but their requirements are so fucking high, and then the payment is not going to match the work. And God forbid you try to be like, no, this is my set price and stuff like that. They will have a whole fucking fit. And my thing is, as a black creator, I feel like we are already lowballed, especially as a dark-skinned black creator. We're already kind of at the lowest of the totem pole. Not saying like I feel lower than anything, but I'm just saying when it comes to like people purchasing and, you know, working with us, we're already kind of lowest at the totem pole, unless you're like super chocolate. Then of course they want you on a team as an all inclusivity type of thing. But we're already low, so that means I'm already accepting a lower pay than what my counterparts would be getting paid, and this price is no longer negotiable. A lot of people will try to negotiate you on price, and I'm just not going to do it. All right, I'm using a little bit of my e.l.f. concealer, the camo concealer in the shade Fair Warm. I've had this for maybe about some months to years, okay? I don't know if they still carry it. They should. I don't see why they wouldn't, because it was a big hit at the time. But back to what I was saying. So I cannot tell you how many hair companies, especially hair companies, even I've had like some makeup companies, not recently, because I think people kind of understand that my Instagram isn't really up to date like it should. I update on my stories, but I don't really post anymore because it's a lot of fucking pressure. And Instagram stopped paying for reels. Like before I was posting because they were paying for reels. If you're gonna pay me to post, I'll fucking post. But of course they stopped doing that. But anyway, yes, I've had like a lot of hair companies reach out to me, and they always ask me my price. And when I tell them my price, they always try to negotiate. Like, bitch, don't ask me my price and try to negotiate it. I told you what the fuck the price is, and that's just what it is. Now, there are some people that I know that would accept a lower price. I feel like that's just unacceptable. If you took time to calculate how much you want to be paid off of a video based on like how much time it's going to take you to create that video, the products and stuff that you're putting into there, then you should stick with that price. You should not allow anybody to lowball you. Stick with your price. Everything just because it's free don't mean that you need it. And that's always been my motto, and I think that's probably why I stand out a little bit more as a different micro influencer, because baby, I'm not accepting everything that come my way. I'm just not gonna do it. All right, I'm gonna take some of this like orange right here from the previous palette, and I'm gonna just take it and I'm gonna blend it, kind of like starting in that dark area and then pushing it forward or pulling it forward, just blending it in circles forward. Hopefully that makes sense and y'all can see what I'm doing, because I don't know how to explain it. But yeah, and in no means am I telling you not to accept any work. If you feel like a certain amount is good enough for you, babes, then you go ahead and you accept it. I am not telling you don't accept work, especially if you are in a bind. If you are in a bind and you need some money, sometimes you gotta accept that lower pay, and that's gonna be okay. I'm not telling you can't bounce back from that, but what I am telling you, especially when it comes to hair companies and sometimes brands as well, is that they talk, okay? And a lot of the hair companies are owned by the same people. Meaning that if you do it for a lower price for one person, then they're probably going to tell the other person, hey, I got this person, this is how much they charge. So then that person is going to be expecting you to do the video for that amount as well. So if you don't want that to be forever your price, I need for you not to accept the low hanging fruit. And I'm not telling you that it's not good for you to get hair promo, because baby, Lord knows, although I would be buying my own hair, it ain't nothing better than getting a free wig. Okay, I love that. But I still have the funds to go and buy my own, which means that you're not gonna fucking play around with me. Especially, I feel like if I'm not going to wear the product consistently, like this Yolista wig right here. Is this Yolista? I think it's Yolista. But if I'm not going to wear it consistently, then I probably don't want to work with your brand. Like if you sent me a wig that kind of like bunched up or got matted the second day, I'm probably not going to work with you again. I'll be remembering. Or I'm going to upcharge your ass a little bit more because you fucking played with me last time. It just depends. Anyway, the moral of the story is to know your worth. Alright, so then I'm going to go back into the Rebel Honey palette. Look, I'm only using 2 palettes today. I'm doing so good. I'm going to go back into like this little shimmer color right here. Hopefully you guys can see it, and hopefully it is on my lids the way that I want it to. I'm a little bit nervous. I'm like, maybe I should go in with the different color. I don't know. Let me see. Hold on. No, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. I haven't done my Teddy Graham look in so long, but we're going to try it and see. Hopefully it appears on camera. Yay! I think it's there. But another thing, like my number one issue is I have a problem with authority. Like I really do. You're not going to tell me what the hell to do. That's probably why I don't be doing like a lot of collabs either, is because you're not going to tell me how the hell to do my damn video. This is my video. I'm going to run this shit how I want to run it. So you're not going to be like, hey, the lighting has to be this high, and then, you know, we need you to make sure you're doing this in the video. Like that's another reason why like I probably always forever be within my little bubble, because I refuse. I have a problem with authority. Now I was already going to do it, but the fact that you told me to do it is a problem for me. All right, I'm using a little bit of color corrector. I already went in with my Smashbox oil control. Where'd it go? This one. The oil control, I told y'all, if I need my makeup to last for a while, I mix the oil control with the NARS, and yes, I get everything that I need and then some. Okay. I think also another issue with trying to be a micro influencer is that a lot of things are, people gatekeep a lot. Like I don't understand why people gatekeep, because it's like, I can understand like your perfume, you probably want to gatekeep that. I understand like something that's super personal to you, but why people gatekeep like people being successful, I will never understand, because I feel like there's so much room for everybody to succeed, especially in this type of industry. There's so much room that I don't know why they gatekeep. Like they gatekeep the camera that they're using, the lighting setup. Like girl, show me what the hell is going on. And the only reason why I haven't showed y'all is because I'm still trying to figure it out. If you go back maybe a video or a video 2 ago, like girl, I'm still trying to figure this out. That's the only reason why I have not shared with you guys. But I told y'all what type of camera I use. I use the Canon 80D. I have 2 GVM lights. I've actually, all my products that I use are in my storefront. Now, how I use them properly, we're still working on that, but all of them are listed inside of the storefront. Okay, I'm using some of my NARS Soft Matte on my face. I'm using this one instead of my MAC because I actually have 2 bottles of this. I read up. I bought a lot of this at one point in time. Like, I stocked up on this, so I have a whole bunch to use. So we might as well use what we have. So I'm just gonna apply that to my face, my skin, you know, warm that up a little bit and get off in there. I'm gonna try to avoid my wig, y'all. I'm so excited about this new wig that's coming. Oh my gosh, I don't even understand. I'm super excited. This one needs to be washed, but we're gonna make it do what it do for now, okay? At one point in time, like when I was posting and trying to get followers on Instagram before I just stopped giving a fuck. That's so sad, but I be like, I don't care. Cause I mean, I be enjoying life, and that's one thing I told y'all. I never wanted to get wrapped up into this where this takes away from time with my kids or takes away from me actually living. You know what I'm saying? I don't want nobody, personal or business related, to be like, well, you know, we tried to take her out to dinner and the only thing she could focus on was getting the correct shot for the food, and she was just so had to get content. Girl, that's never going to be me. I am not that type of person. I don't want to be that type of person. But I remember, like, because this was before I was getting paid, I was like, I want to build a following or whatever. And so I asked this girl who had, oh my goodness, she had so much engagement on her photos and stuff like that. So I was like, I'm gonna ask her. So I was like, hey, you know, we both followed each other, whatever. She actually started following me first. And so I was like, you know, hey, I actually love your content, and I see that you have like a lot of engagement. Do you mind just kind of sharing some tips? Child, do you know this heifer blocked me? I was like, damn, girl, I can't ask you no questions. It was at that point in time in my life that I realized that a lot of this shit is fake. Okay, and I be telling my friends that, listen, I'm not saying that everybody is fake, but a lot of it, I would say a good 90% is fake. People can buy likes, and that's why I be telling my friend, when I went out with the influencer lady, I was telling her that, I was like, girl, listen, there are so many people with over 1 million followers, over 200,000 followers, and they only have 300 likes on their posts. That don't seem shady to you? That don't seem odd that a person could be liked or be followed by 300,000 people, only have 300 likes on their photo? Not saying it's not possible, but it's just very odd. The view to like ratio is just off, because you would think that if you had 200 to 300,000 followers, at the very minimum you should be getting at least 20,000 worth of engagement. And girl, it's fake. Okay, the industry is fake. Do not be looking up to these people. It's a little off. All right, I'm gonna use some of my Beauty Bakery in the shade Almond to set my foundation with this. I also say be very careful with getting into this full time. And the only reason why I say be careful with getting into it full time, and it's just a personal preference, something that I can't deal with. Like, I am super duper conscious about shit, so I can't deal with it. But I'm just saying, like, you never know when the money is going to stop. Like, the money is really good right now. You know, you're gonna have a couple brands, couple hair deals, you just never know. But I would not make this your main source of income unless you have a plan B, because the money that you are making today could be different tomorrow. And when I say that, like, especially on YouTube, I think they went from taking 40% to now they take 50. No, is it a 50-50 split? I think it might be a 60-40 split. Maybe a 60-40 split, but they were a lot less than that. I think at one point in time they were only taking 10%. Now they take more of your funds. Like, you, girl, the money is going to change, okay? Do not bank on this, and if you do, make sure you got something saved up for a rainy day. Me personally, I wouldn't make this the end all be all for me. Like, yes, it's extra money. I love it. If you are able to make more bank, make more bank. But don't allow this to be your only stream of income. Just personal opinion. Use this money to do investments. You don't even have to work a 9-to-5. Invest in something. Open up something, you know, but just don't make this your solid mainstream of income, because these funds are wishy-washy and they will change. All right, I'm going in with my favorite product ever. This right here is the 80 Sienna by Sephora. I love this. It's not too red. It just warms me up. It's just my shit, okay? So I'm going to go in and just kind of chisel out my features with this. and we gonna call that a day, okay? I had my little heart set on becoming a full-time creator. Y'all know we using the OPV palette, little blush palette, but I had my heart set on that until my friend had to sit my ass down and be like, bitch, where is you going to get rent money or health insurance for that matter? Like, what about your kids? Like, girl, you're not in this by yourself. If I was in this by myself, I probably would go ahead and do it, but because I'm not, because I have children, it's just too much of a risk for me to put them through, so I'm not going to fucking do it. But I totally was into it, that I was like, girl, trying to figure out where my next meal is coming from and not having a reoccurring set paycheck. Like, this month maybe $500, next month maybe 10 grand. Girl, you don't know. And the thought of just not knowing put me in too much of a frenzy, and I was like, I can't do it. But if you can, more power to you. Kudos to you for living like that. All right, I'm gonna take a little bit of my plantain from Beauty Bakery. I told y'all this is my favorite. I love this. And I'm going to just start to highlight and carve out anywhere that I really want to appear a little bit brighter. Do this at your own risk, girl, because you're going to get bright. But that's why I said with the almond first. I said with the almond, and then I go in and proceed to bake with this one. And I applied the blush first, so that way when I bake and kind of carve out where I want it to go, it's not as prominent. It kind of just kind of soaks into the skin and it looks a lot better. I don't know how to explain it, but I'm hopefully this works out. Not really 100% sure, but just roll with me. Okay, so I've already applied my lashes, did my bottom lashes, and now it is time to blend it out. I was like, man, this looks like super pretty. I should probably fucking put on something, but girl, I'm about to take me and the children to the pool. We're not doing too much today at all, so it's no point. But do y'all see what I meant when, like, when I said I put down the blush first and then I applied the highlight? It just kind of melted it all into one, and it just looks good, I think. I don't know, I could have a difference of opinion once I upload it, but yeah, overall, y'all, I just want to tell y'all, just keep going. Being a micro influencer or influencer in general is not easy, and you're gonna have some hiccups, and it's gonna be okay, but just know your worth and just keep doing what you do, okay? All right, so let's finish up and be done. You guys know we're gonna finish it out with some MAC Chestnut. What is that on my face? Here we go. All right, I'm going to use Nubian Sand just because it's here and I don't have anything else to use. All right, then I'm going in with the shade Cork to kind of like, you know, bring all of this together. Cork is a little light to me to like line my lips fully, but I feel like it does kind of bring the chestnut and the Nubian Sand together. All right, I'm gonna add just like a little bit of like an iridescent gloss right here. Alright guys, so here we are. This is the finished look. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. I did want to tell you guys about the lips. So I use the same pencil that I used on my eyebrows. I know it's girl, shut up, mind your business. I have disinfectant wipes over here. But yes, I use the same one, and normally what I'll do is I'll line, after I put down the chestnut, if I want it to be a little bit darker around the edges, then I'll line it with like this pencil or a black pencil, just to make it just like a little bit more chocolatey, because I can't find the right mixture, but this works for me. Anyway, I feel like this look came out really good. I actually like this lighting setup. Y'all let me know. Do you like the softbox lighting or do you like this light setup better? I think I might stick with this one, but again, just let me know in the comments. The softbox lighting is like the video previous to this one, and then this one is like the harsh light, okay? If you guys enjoyed this one and you guys want me to show you guys how I actually have my camera and my light set up, it's pretty simple. This is probably the simplest setup I've had thus far. If you guys want me to show you that, then just let me know in the comments. I'm definitely willing to show you guys and let you know. But this is it. I call this look my Teddy Graham look because you have like the golds as well as like the browns and stuff, and it just all kind of works out. I kind of want to go get dressed up because I feel like, girl, it looks good, right? Even the contour. I'm going to tell you guys I learned on TikTok too. So I'll tell you guys about that in the next video, the contour and stuff as well. But anyway, I gotta go. I love you guys and I'll see you guys next time.